Let's make sure that we're live. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's pull it up here. Tom, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I can't complain. I mean, other than the fact that the world's probably going to end and start in August of this year, and the next 3.5, 4 years is going to be a nightmare for anybody who's not prepared. I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
I hope that is there still time to get prepared? I don't feel prepared whatsoever.
Probably not. But it's nice
Probably
to
not.
know. Like you saw, Don't Look Up. It's nice to know that the asteroid's coming and not realize it when you see it in the sky.
All right. I just want to make sure that we're streaming here. Let me go to Happy for a Change. So, oh, you know what? Let's start this. I can't. Oh, first, for some reason, I couldn't find our channel. All right, folks, we're going to be talking about, is Solana the next Luna? Are
Probably.
we? Probably. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Is Elon Musk right that he has a super bad feeling about the economy and things are going to go badly? Probably.
Elon Musk said he had a
Will
super
the
bad
Federal
feeling.
Reserve crash the economy? Probably.
But both Elon Musk said he has a bad feeling.
He said he has a super bad feeling.
A super bad feeling.
He said he had super bad feeling because today is the day that McLovin from the Superbad movie, it's his birthday on his fake driver's license. So that's what he said, a super bad feeling.
Please tell me that's true.
It is true.
Oh, it is true.
Absolutely.
So does he have a super bad feeling about the economy or not?
I think so. I mean, he caused his stock to drop 8% today. What was it?
Whose stock?
Tesla's down 9.4% today.
That's nothing.
Because he said he had to lay off 10% of his staff and freeze all hiring.
Okay, that I did read, and that did not feel, like an optimistic thing. But 10%, is that a lot?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, it's one thing to freeze hiring, right? If you take a look at growth, the rate of change of growth, to go from hiring to not hiring, okay, that's a slowdown. To go from from hiring to not hiring plus laying off people, well, then you have a contraction, right? And what's a recession? A recession is when there is a contraction in growth and sometimes inflation, but where there's a contraction in growth for 2 consecutive quarters. So, I mean, look, is Tesla the big representative of the employment sector of the United States or globally? No. That's Costco, that's Amazon, that's Walmart, the big box retailers that hire a lot of people. So once we start seeing, well, if I'm not mistaken, Amazon did come out in their earnings report a couple of weeks ago saying that they had overhired and they're going to have to, I think, themselves freeze hiring and to start laying off people. So that's rough, right? Especially on the heels of having the lowest unemployment rate, at least in North America, the lowest unemployment rate in 40 years. So we're being whipsawed, Peter. Right before the pandemic, it was like, okay, it's problems. We need to cut interest rates. We have to try to get full employment. Then COVID lows, and people don't know what's going on. 2 years of that, money printing, stock market, equity markets, crypto markets, all-time highs, and now it turned back in November, and it's headed down and lower. Who knows how much lower it goes? It's topsy-turvy world, Peter. It's a topsy-turvy world, and I love it because volatility means you can make money. You can also lose a lot of money, right? Like the Luna people found out.
Yeah. Okay. So, can you explain this Luna thing that happened? I woke up one morning and it felt like all hell broke loose. I didn't have any Luna. I didn't even know what the word depeg meant. I thought it was like a bondage term. So, could you explain this Luna situation real quick, just real quick, before we get to Solana?
Yeah, well, so we talked about it in our last stream, but basically, Luna is one of those cryptocurrencies. In fact, it was up there in the top 10, top 15 cryptocurrencies with like a $50 billion market cap, which is say all the money that's been floating around in there, the value of those tokens capped out at around $50 billion, which is a lot. $50 billion is a lot of money. And what happened after that was that the main thing about Luna was that they had what's called a stable coin, which is just another cryptocurrency that's supposed to be stable at $1 of that stable coin is equal to $1 American, and that
Mhm.
broke that peg where the one for one was pegged together, that broke, and that basically caused the entire value proposition of Luna to crumble. And Luna went from $119 per Luna token to right now it's traded at
Mm.
0.000096
By the
cents.
dip. By the dip.
By the dip, indeed.
So when we're looking at, is Solana going to be the next Luna? Were there warning signs for Luna, and are we seeing those same warning signs for Solana, or is that not an apt comparison?
Sure. Well, what happens inside of a recession, and we've talked about this in past videos, this idea that once the flow of money pulls out of a given system, then you get to see which things are actually valuable and which things are not. If uh, if a market has been buoyed by the availability of capital, then it's hard to say what's good or not. Everyone seems like a genius because everything goes up. No matter what you pick, it goes up. And then the question is just, have I picked the thing that went up more than the other ones, and did I get in early enough? And this is how Ponzi schemes work. This is how bubbles work, right? You seem like you can't lose, and I was in that boat last year as well. So what happens when that money flows out? Well, then things that are not well supported, things that can be hacked, things that have bad management, all the flaws can start to get exploited, and you can get things that start to crumble. And we saw this in the dot-com bubble, right? We had, what was it, 99% of the Nasdaq stock index crashed. I mean, you had Amazon trading at $6 or something like that for a while. Amazon that's now at $2,400 was trading at $6. Can you imagine, Peter? So the things that don't go zero, that don't zero out, that don't go bankrupt, and there's a value proposition there, and it shows some legs, some growth afterwards. Well, those are the sort of things you want to hold on to because they might actually make you a lot of money, right? If you bought Amazon at $6 and then a year later it's at $12, well, then you're up 100%, even though the person who bought it at $100 who's down to $12, right? They're down 80%. So there's money to be made if you use this as an opportunity to see which assets are now valuable. Now, the reason why we're bringing this up that Luna could be the next, Solana could be the next Luna, is that there does seem to be signs that Solana is weakening more than its compatriots in the crypto markets, right?
Well, do you
So,
think that Solana is, because if I remember correctly, you don't think Luna is like one of these Amazon survive the .com bubble things? Is Solana something like that?
well, I don't really, or I didn't know much about Solana before, right? Usually, I let the charts tell me if something I should pay attention to something. And so, for example, Luna was one of those crypto assets that, as all the crypto market was going down as of November 2021, it
Mhm.
was going down. Luna was going up and still making new all time highs. And when you see that, you go, what's going on? You're part of the same Ponzi scheme as everything else. So why are you going up? And then all the all the people who are proponents of Luna, they call themselves lunatics, right? They're online just shaking their money maker, just twerking all over the place, just so happy that their assets are going up when everything is going down, and you go, that's suspicious as well. What's going on over here? And then when you start looking into it, you go, well, what's the value proposition? And the value proposition is that, oh, we figure out a way of being able to earn 20% interest on something that's risk free, right? I mean, 20% risk free. We've talked about this before. The interest rate you get on something is an indication of the risk that's there. And so, what's the interest rate you get on Bitcoin, Peter?
Zero?
And what's the interest rate you get on Luna?
20.
Hmm. 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 So either it's amazing, it's so good that it beats the global bond market, it beats all stock indexes, it beats any sort of asset you can buy. I mean, you could buy that and not work again if it continues at 20%, right? If you made people who are retired and who get between 4 and 7% interest on their money, they're considered to be okay, right? If you
Mhm.
can get 20% on your money risk free, I mean, that's hell of a return, Peter. A hell of a return. So I did not touch that with a 10-foot pole because you never know.
But I mean,
Oh, you do know. You do know.
people are going, oh yay, Solana is making its money, right? Is it? Are you saying it's the same story there? The run up.
No, not all the weak assets are the same types of Ponzi schemes, right? Solana is not promising 20% returns. What Solana is doing is that it's supposed to be a decentralized cryptocurrency, right? Decentralized mean what do you call it, Peter? Decent. You can't be decent.
If you're
What's
not
your line?
decentralized.
If you're not decentralized. So the idea here is that the cryptocurrency, the whole value proposition is that it's a type of money, a type of asset, a type of technology that is decentralized. That's not controlled by any given centralized source, so that it's censorship resistant, that it can adjust dynamically with the needs of the system, and that it can grow without fear that governments can shut it down or what have you.
Not
Well,
only governments, but small groups of people who are in charge of the project. Like, what was it? What's his name? The Quan? It's not a
Loquan, yes,
government.
exactly. Yeah, but he was still able to make a mistake that caused Luna to completely collapse. Luna was his
Mhm.
baby. Well, Solana's here, and I was looking at the charts. I was like, why is Solana underperforming all the other crypto assets, right? When you're looking at the top assets and you see that Bitcoin has been down. Actually, if you want to switch my screen, I'll show it to you over here. Oh, you can't see it down here at the bottom right. Let me just pull it up. So you see
Yeah,
on the
we can
right
see it.
side over here. On the right side over here, do you see on the right side it says over the last, let's say, 3 months, Bitcoin has been down 25%. Can you see that there? Is it too small?
Under performance or?
Yeah, exactly on the far right.
Well, I don't see your mouse, so.
Oh, I see. Let's see here. Well, I can
But
zoom
I
in,
do
but
see that
Bitcoin,
performance area, but yeah.
yes. So Bitcoin over the last 3 months has been down 25%, which is bad, but I mean, when you take a look at the Nasdaq has been down over the last since the beginning of the year. The Nasdaq's been down 23%. That's official bear market. So that's rough. And so Bitcoin, the fact that it's only down 25%, that's actually pretty good for an asset as volatile as Bitcoin. That's pretty good. So
I'm
Bitcoin's down
surprised it
25%.
hasn't gone down lower.
Exactly. I mean, it will. Don't hold your breath
I'm,
too
su-
long
I'm,
about it.
surpri- I'm surprised it's holding so rock steady here. I feel like
Now's
this is.
now's the time
It feels
to
like the
buy.
bottom, the floor.
So Bitcoin's down 25%. Ethereum, the second runner up, is down 34% over the last 3 months. And then you look at Solana and it's down 57%.
Hmm.
That's pretty bad for the same period of time, 57%. And the next runner up for that is XRP Ripple, which is down 48%. So it's like another 10% worse than the its closer competitor. So it's like, okay, what's going on over here? Like I was looking at it, I was like, why is it going down? Right, because when you have big drawdowns in crypto, you're like, okay, let me take a look at things I might want to buy. What's performing better, and blah blah blah. And this is performing considerably worse.
Mhm.
Because my charts were sort of showing that uh, Bitcoin and Cardano and well, mostly Bitcoin Cardano, a little bit of actually Bitcoin Cardano might be making a bottom. Who knows? It might be, this might be as low as it goes. I mean, it was just suggesting that. I don't believe that's the case, but that's what it was suggesting. But my charts were saying that Solana is definitely going like 40% lower from here. And I was like, oh, okay, what's going on? Because I had seen something like that with Luna before, and I didn't pay attention. And my God, Peter, I wish I was shorting Luna from 114 down to from 119 down to one 10,000th of a penny. God, that would have been nice money. So my eyes are keen, right? My eyes are looking for other opportunities to short, and Solana seems to be fitting that bill wholesale. So then I started
Mm-mm.
looking into it, and Solana, I think just yesterday shut down. Like they shut down Solana so that no one could interact with it. It couldn't process any transactions. They go, excuse me, we can shut down blockchains. The decentralized, always on. Government can stop it. They could just go be like, "Ah, we could turn it down." Like it's a freaking like it's a game app you have on your phone. They could just shut it down. Sorry, we were going to be down for maintenance. Excuse me. And then I look, and it's the eighth time since it's been opened. that Solana has shut
Someone should
down.
put an alarm on Solana to make it go, danger, Will Robinson,
Exactly.
danger. How can you shut this thing down? I don't like that. I don't like the idea that you have, like, I don't get people who argue for cryptocurrencies that can be shut down like that. I mean, it's harder for a government to shut something down than it is for some of these individuals to do it. How the heck are you even allowed to do that?
I mean, fine. Say that your thing can be shut down and that that it is centralized, and you're doing that in order to make sure you can work out the bugs and kinks or whatever. But work out the bugs and kinks on a new video game, on a new app that you put out, not on the basis of a new globalized financial system taking control of billions of dollars and you're hoping trillions of dollars. That's not a thing where you like unplug it and replug it and just reboot it and see what happens. Like, what is going on? And they had to take it down because they were like, we're gonna take it down and we're gonna put out a patch, not to fix it, but just so that we can reactivate it without this feature active, and then later on we'll be able to fix it. I mean, that is so nerve wracking. And so we saw this with the lunatics, the people from Luna, who had people had their life savings in there, people remortgaged their houses in order to put money in there. I mean, greed is strong, right? People really want to make money, and when you see people making 5, 10, 100 times their money, they want to get in there. So there's people like that in Solana who woke up one day and they're like, they could not act, Peter. They could not sell their Solana stuff. Like if they wanted to, they couldn't sell it. That to me is nerve wracking. Like if my bank said, not only is the app down, but you also can come into the teller and you can use the ATM or whatever. We'll get back to you when it's online. What's the thing I do tomorrow? I find a new bank. I'm going to go to the bank that's not doing that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
To me, like, I don't know if it's just me or just what I picked up online. I don't know if this is true. Maybe you'll tell me if you're. We both don't really know Solana, so caveat there. But I always thought of Solana as like the rich person's crypto. Like there are a lot of like top dogs who like and promote Solana, and I was like, I always thought, why? Just looking at it, I thought, I don't understand. Like, what's the value here besides that people just made money on it on the run up and people are excited about it? What is special about Solana?
Yeah. What's special about Solana is that VC money's behind it, big money's behind it. Your buddy Chamath Palihapitiya, he says he has like $1 billion worth of of the Solana.
Was
Actually,
he
you mind
not
playing that?
joking?
I mean, he was, but just play that clip from my Twitter, just to hear it. I'll give a
I
little
hope he doesn't
context
have a
afterwards.
billion
This is from his
Solana.
podcast, All In. What is it called? All In,
All in,
the All
just
In
called
podcast.
all in.
Him with a bunch of other rich people.
AUM is positively correlated with
Can you hear the sound?
Absolutely.
All right.
Chamath Palihapitiya, and I'm your boy J Cal.
Sax. I gotta say, I think your AUM is positively correlated with the bags under your eyes.
If you mean it's getting bigger, you're correct.
I mean,
Yeah,
fuck.
they're heavy.
Good lord.
What's AUM?
AUM is assets under management. So basically, the amount
Oh.
of money that he has. He's saying that, and bags is you're holding this thing that you can only that's only worth something when you can sell your bags to somebody else so that they hold
Gotcha.
it. And so he's saying, well, the bags under your eyes seem to be correlated with your AUM, which is to say, the worse
Okay.
your portfolio is doing, the worse you look. And look at that guy's that guy's face is sort of like draining.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I get it now. I get it now.
They're heavy, dragging you down.
That's where you're hiding all that Solana in your fucking under your eyes. Jesus Christ.
You better clear that Solana position. What's your lockup? 24 months?
Fuck no. He's trying to sell it to me on text message.
Yeah, of course he is.
We're negotiating discounts,
I just had the founder of
Hey,
the
you're
pod.
fucking the whole thing up.
bro. You don't think
Ponzi
to,
scheme?
I'm
you hear
hodling.
him say
I'm
that?
hodling.
you think I buy
You're not
hundreds of
hodling, you're
millions of
clear-
So he
What?
says, the look on his face, he goes, hey, you're fucking the whole thing up, which is him saying, look, we can't say this in public
Oh, that's right. That's what I thought.
because both you and I want to sell this Solana to regular people, to retail investors, right? They're only holding the stuff as an investment because they want to sell it to people like you and me. So he says, he's telling the guy, hey, as nice as you can, hey, buddy, shut up. You're going to be ruined the whole thing. Don't you know what this grift is? And that's why he says immediately after, I'm hodling. I'm holding on for dear life. I'm not selling.
So
I'm not
they're selling.
They're selling. I think it continues on. someone asked him that. Play the rest of that video.
Why did Chamath ask him, or maybe it was the host asking him about lockup for 24 months? Was there a type of locking up of Solana?
Yeah, so
Solana?
when VC money goes into venture capitalist money, so the first money that big money goes in to support this thing to make it to get it off the ground. So let's say Solana starts at $1 or whatever. The VC gets first dibs. They get a huge amount of the crypto asset, but under the condition that they cannot sell it for a period of time. Because if they do, then they could tank the market. All of a sudden, it's going up, and they sell $1 billion worth. And if the thing is only worth $2 billion worth at the time, well, then they could drop the whole price by 50% or whatever. And so this is true for if you're getting shares for. VCs can get shares in a publicly traded company. They can get warrants, they can get options, they can get all kinds of different things that gives them equity in that asset. But usually the deal is you can't sell it to retail investors until we get stable and until your selling won't dramatically move the price. And so he's saying, so the guy is saying, Chamath is saying, you have a lockup of 24 months. For 2 years, you can't sell this. But he's trying to secretly sell it to Chamath.
Well, we don't know if this is true, but that's what
that's what Chamath is saying.
Yeah, but we don't know if
and then negotiating a discount. It's like, oh, I'll buy it from you. No, it's fine. It's you can't sell it on the market, on the open market. If you want to give this somebody else to hold the bag, well then.
So I can't believe that he was kind of open and he spilled the beans here. I mean, why?
Well, that's what guy's saying. That's that's the Ponzi scheme. We don't talk about that.
This is like that movie. What was it, Margin Call or whatever? When they realize that the housing bubble is going to burst and they've got to dump all their their holdings onto the market before other people find out. It's like, can you imagine they were on a podcast going, "Oh, dude, did you get rid of those triple prime mortgages or whatever they're called?" You're like,
and if it's 500 million or $1 billion worth of the asset, you're like, this conversation could cost me $1 billion. No, thank you.
I'm hodling. All right. I get you, buddy.
Dollars of anything without a discount? Everything is a discount.
Everything's discounted. You want to clear that position in an LLC?
Are you saying I got $1 billion of Solana?
No, bro, I'm saying I have one, but I brought it at a discount.
But you're holding, correct?
Ish.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, if you're Chamath, Palihapitiya, and
that was interesting.
That's crazy. And so
I just love peering into the lives of these rich people. I cannot believe. Look, I like my boy. I like Chamath, and it's because he'll be honest like this. I mean, it's honest within boundaries, but
who cares?
He spills the beans.
Bernie Madoff is honest. Fine, he's revealing the game, but I'm going to. I would use his podcast to know when to short him. Not to buy his thing.
Well, look, I'm not shorting it. I'm just listening to the guy, and I like what he says. All right, so Solana, back to Solana.
Okay, so then I see that and go, wait, what's going on? So what? I like to look at the creators of the platform and go, well, what is it that they think about what they're doing, and what is the work ethic they're putting in, and is this just a pump and dump scheme for them? Like, I want to know what their mentality is. So then I go and I see the founder, the creator of Solana, and how he talks about building a crypto platform that's supposed to support trillions of dollars worth of value. I play that next video on my Twitter feed. I could not believe this. This is the creator of Solana commenting on another cryptocurrency called Cardano that Cardano is taking a very methodical approach to how they develop their platform. They want it to be super careful, super meticulous, and he's making fun of them. So listen to what he says about it.
He's making fun of our Cardano?
Yeah.
Scorch earth, baby. If you want, tell me you're stupid without telling me you're stupid, okay? Shitting on Cardano. By the way, in case you folks don't know, it's Sacred Prophet on Twitter. You can see Tom Hartman, Sacred Prophet, at Sacred Prophet. I love Tom's tweets. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see what these guys have to say. So this is the Solana co-founders, ladies, in describing why Cardano isn't completely broken like Solana. His secret, you've got to swallow Charles's something. All right.
The approach that they're taking. So I'm going to say Cardano next. And that is because I used to be a Haskell programmer. The approach that they're
Haskell
taking
is the
is
programming
so
language.
extreme.
Haskell is a programming language that underlies Cardano. It's a very difficult programming language to program in if you are not used to it, because it is completely unforgiving for errors. It's built so that, I mean, it's the sort of thing like if you're gonna build software for trains and planes and very complex systems, and you need to make sure that everything works exactly as it needs to before you run it, you use Haskell. If you want, but your 14-year-old kid learning how to make websites, they're not using Haskell. So this guy that's talking right now, the creator of Solana, he was a Haskell programmer. So he's saying, look, it's using Haskell is very difficult to build on.
And these are the creators of Solana.
The guy talking is the creator of Solana.
Just this guy. All right.
Well, there's another guy, but the guy talking is the creator.
Gotcha.
So extremely like esoteric, with like such a huge stick up their ass about correctness that this is why they're never going to ship. And it's almost like, they're trying, right? They're trying to build something that is like a cathedral. As an engineer that had to ship code, and get paid for it, it's just that stuff doesn't work. You got to like swallow, like kiss a couple frogs in your design and like ship stuff and just get it done. And so Polkadot also is kissing frogs, right? So I'm going to say Cardano next.
So
Polkadot
what
is
he's
kissing
talking about
frogs.
there, he's saying the key phrase there is, as an engineer, as a programmer who had to ship code and get paid, we couldn't be bothered to fix every single problem before.
Yeah, that's right.
So what he's saying is that,
The
look,
same principle that he's applying to his for his clients, he wants to apply for the financial system, is what he's saying.
Exactly. He goes, look, I want to make money. Or he's speaking more in generally, those of us who want to make money, well, we have to deal with the code being broken or not perfectly tested, because that's how we're going to make money. We're not going to make money by not putting people's money at risk. You're going to have to deal with some people's money to be at risk for us to make money. Like, come on, what are you going to do? He's saying Cardano hasn't shipped yet. Now, first of all, Cardano has been around for a long time, and Cardano, by the way, their market cap, which is to say the amount of money in Cardano versus the amount of money in Solana, their market cap has surpassed Solana. I remember
really?
Yeah, I remember when people thought that was never going to happen. People were talking about how Solana is going to surpass Ethereum. And they're making fun of Cardano, just like a bunch of people make fun of Cardano, which I love. Peter, I love when people make fun of Cardano.
Man,
perfect.
Tom, right now, there was a brief respite, but I feel like online now, the amount of maybe it's not hate, but ridicule that Cardano is getting is chef's kiss sweet, man. All these people going, oh, you guys are being too meticulous, taking forever. It's like,
well, imagine they launch like Luna at the top of the crypto bubble, right? And launch. I mean, Cardano has launched, but let's say, when do you want Cardano to gain traction? Do you want it to gain traction at the top, right before everything starts to fall, or things are falling, or at the bottom when people are like, whew, they're like, I don't even want to think about crypto anymore. I never want to invest another penny. And then Cardano comes out and starts creeping up. It'll be the safest investment in the world if they survive,
absolutely.
which I think they will. And that's the opportunity where, like, Cardano right now is at 55, 56 cents. And I would love to be able to get Cardano, let's say, at 37 cents, 35 cents. Hell, I'd get it at 10 cents. Because if the complaint that people have is that they're too meticulous in what they're doing, how do you not want to buy that? They're not saying they're not skilled, right? They're not saying that there's not a large market cap. They're not saying that there's not developers there. They're just saying, well, it turns out the only developers who will develop on this platform are the ones that are so meticulous and so eager that to do things right, that they'll pound their head against the wall to learn an incredibly different programming language that's only good and useful in very complex and serious circumstances. I don't want to deal with those people. Oh my
Nerds.
God. Nerds. I mean, I'm a programmer, but those guys are programmers. Ugh. Like, what plane do you want to fly on? The plane that the move fast and break things airlines, or the we won't send a plane in the sky unless we can guarantee that you're going to get to your destination. Jesus Christ.
Just
Imagine going to
get
the
me
Peter,
on the
imagine going to the
plane.
moon. Imagine going to the moon, going to the rocket. I want to go to the first rocket. Man, I don't care if it's shaking and bits fly off and 1 out of 10 of us don't make it. It's like, okay, how about I wait 5 years, get on the rocket that for sure goes to Mars and come back? How about
That's
that?
right. That's right. Oh, you're afraid of the plane because the wheels fell off? You're afraid of the little plane seat because it's shaky? You
And
big
the answer
baby.
always comes back the same. People always say like, "Oh, well, you just don't invest money you're not willing to lose, and you know, you just have to be smart in your risk management or whatever." Well, sure, I understand that, but that's not how they only say that sort of thing at the at the end, right? These cryptocurrencies, they could be like, you know what? We know that it's a beta. We know it's buggy. We know people might lose money. Let's limit the amount of tokens in any given wallet, let's say, to $10,000, and that way we know people are not going to, or whatever, some amount. That way we know that people aren't going to be putting more money in than they can lose. We just
Mhm.
want this to be stable. You know, they could say that. They could say that. They could have that in their marketing, where they have it strictly in their marketing. Do not buy this cryptocurrency with your life savings. They're not saying that. They're happy for people to put all their life savings in, right? Those they could have a part of the marketing budget be just go comment on people's tweets who are saying literally as an official from Solana going, or from any of these cryptocurrencies, like, be careful, don't put money that you can lose. This is very important. Please don't do that. Well, Cardano does that, Peter. You got Charles on regular AMAs on live streams telling people, be careful, don't do that. You have people, no one from the Cardano community is saying this is going to the moon and you better get it now because you're going to be sorry later on. They literally say the opposite. They say, you know what, you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, wait, come back in 3 months. You don't like us then, wait, come back in 3 months, and only come in when you feel safe. What other cryptocurrency is saying that?
Look, if Cardano was a cult, you'd show up at the doors. You'd be like, I'm interested in some Kool-Aid. They're like, Kool-Aid, you might be a little rushing the Kool-Aid thing. Why don't you think about it? Maybe do some research about other people who drank Kool-Aid. Figure out if Kool-Aid's for you. It's like the most decent cult that you've ever met.
Exactly.
We're gonna brainwash you in here, right? We're gonna brainwash you in here. So maybe while everybody else is like, cult? What cult? Be one of us. One of us.
It's funny, in the video game space, they go, when a video game is delayed, you don't usually people aren't like, oh, come on, man, just put out the game. I don't care if there's any bugs. I don't care if there's any problems. Just get the game out. People go, okay, if it's going to take you another year, 2 years, put it out. Because what's the benefit of getting it now? You're telling me it's not ready. It's like, okay, so then I'll wait till it's ready.
Well, look, if you're selling on the way up, then you're one of these people who are taking suckers' money, right? So for you, game's good.
Absolutely. And that's one of the complaints we see often, and it really aggravates me on Reddit, on Twitter, and all that. They go, oh, you're just upset because you bought at the top. But I didn't know it was the top when I bought it. I didn't say, oh, I'm buying the top now and I'm expecting it to go down. Like, I bought it because you told me, whatever other person who bought it lower says this is a good investment, you buy. And then you're making fun of me because I bought the top. That's the answer. The answer is like, hey, look, you should have known this was going to crash and burn, right? And the game here is to get in and get out as soon as you can, because who would want to hold on to this long term? Like, that's not what they're saying.
You take your parachute onto the plane. What, are you going to board a plane without a parachute? Don't you realize that all the planes we make require that all passengers have parachutes? I'm going to go on the other plane that doesn't require that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a very funny system that we're in. But I mean, from what I understand, forget crypto and the stock market, it's kind of the same thing, right? It's not as crazy in Wild Wild West, but you have manipulation, you have hidden agendas, you have hidden control, and people get screwed.
Yeah, just take a look at Chamath Palihapitiya's portfolio. You're going to see a lot of things where
he's
screwing people.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
So what are the signs to you, to wrap this up? I know you got to go get some calls to make. What are the signs to you that are screaming Solana is going the way of Luna?
So one, several, but one, they are underperforming of the top cryptos. They are underperforming all the other top cryptos, which is not a good sign. It means that there's more selling that's happening there. There's more volatility, and volatility, if you remember, is just another word for uncertainty. That it could go up from here, but it would have to go up way more to offset compared to another cryptocurrency in the same class. It would have to make far more of a move in order to compensate for the risk. So the question is, well, the same things that cause it to go down more than the other cryptocurrencies, why would you expect it to bounce up that much higher? So the chart doesn't look good. If we take a look at the chart here real quick, you'll just see here that this is a Solana chart, and basically the price that we're at over here. So you'll see these colored lines. These colored lines that I have around the price
Mhm.
is the fact that all the colored lines are now above it, above the price. Think of this as it being underwater. So if we zoom in over here, you'll notice that. Let me just get rid of that guy. All this is showing me that you see these colored lines over here.
The color sort of spaces.
Yes, exactly. These spaces
Yeah.
over here is showing me that all the pressure is downwards. And this is a script that I wrote in order to help me tell how a price is moving. So you'll notice over here that when this price went up, it went up and hit literally to the top of this line over here, of this red area. So this was bouncing from the bottom of the, let's call it a river, up until this point, and it hit a hard wall in price, and then it's been going down ever since. And so it's very difficult. Like, if there was ever going to be a chance for this to come up, you would have expected it that in this whole downtrend. So this top over here is November. November is when all the cryptos started going down. You would expect it. So over here, do you see how it bounced off this line over here, and
Mhm.
then it bounced off over here, and the price goes up to the top of my river here. It just goes to the top of this river area and then falls down. So when it doesn't break out and when the price doesn't continue up and confirms that the current that it's hitting at, that it's causing the downward pressure. Well, here, because it bounced on the purple, let's say over here, and then bounced up and then back down. Well, when it got back down to the purple area over here, it broke right through, right?
Mhm.
So it broke right through this purple area, and then it tried to bounce back up to. Let me undo this. It tried to bounce back up here.
This is Tom's special signal here that you're looking at.
The price bounced back up to the purple area, and then failed. Right, it came down after,
Mhm.
and so once it failed over here, it was like, okay, now there was really no support, and it just came tumbling all the way down. And so the price over here was bouncing around before in this purple area, right? It was bouncing around in this purple current, and it failed, and now it's bouncing around in the green current.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I know what you mean by current and river. Uh, I know you're going to be explaining your signal in upcoming videos, but what you're laying this out topographically, sort of.
Exactly. So what happens is that
These
now
pressures that we see, these color things that we see, are sort of flows that create pressure that the chart has to break through or collapse under. If I
that's
understand
right. Because
correctly.
every one of these candles, every part of this line that you see over here, someone was buying and someone was selling.
Mhm.
Right? Multiple people were buying and selling, and when the candle is red, it means that there were more people selling than buying, and then when it's green, it was more people buying than selling. And all that buying and selling and buying and selling, buying and selling causes what's called a volume. This is transaction, and you can tell a lot by the aggregated information that provides you what's happening. So it's sort of like, think of it as a tug of war, right? And you could tell in general how things are going by how the tug of war is going. And so if you consider the price of an asset to be the difference between the people pulling on one side versus the people pulling on the other side. Well, when the rope moves towards one side, chances are it's going to continue to move in that direction until something happens on the other side where more people grab the rope and pull it back the other way, right? And so the volume is the number of people there and pulling, and as more people come in or come out on each side, you get this you get the movement of the price. And so this price is showing us that we are that the tug of war is pulling towards the downside, towards the sell side. And we'd have to really, the price right now for Solana is $38 per Solana. It would have to get above this green line and stay there. So above, let's say, what is it, $50, and stay there for us to say, okay, there's a respite in the price, and there's now more of a chance for it to move up. But now, like I told you before, we were in the purple area before. We were in this area before, right? And then we were in this green area, and now we're in this yellow area. We're starting in the yellow area, which is even lower. And so all of it is just pointing towards that it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And I could see the price falling from 38 down to around over here 22, 21, 22. And if it doesn't, actually, let me point it out towards over here to 22. So that would be a pretty significant fall from over here. So this would fall from here to here. It's about 42%. I don't know if you can see that there.
That's where you think it's going to?
At least. And if that happens, so what this shows us is that this price is showing us that we're in a weakness right now. There's a weakness in Solana. And so when we take a look at Luna, you'll notice that it also had that thing and had this weakness in this area, right? And now the weakness was present ever since over here. But then something happened where the peg broke and boom, the price fell down. Right? So the question is, will in this weakness, will we have a catalyst? If we have some catalyst, which is to say some over here. Right now we're in this weak zone. So if there's a catalyst where there's some major hack happens, or maybe they have to close on the system for a 9th time, and that's just too much for the holders of Solana, or something comes out that makes the uncertainty really increases, so that the downside risk is too big, and people go, I just can't lose any more money in this. Well, then you're going to have a bunch of people selling Solana, and you can get Solana back down to $90 to where it was back at 2021.
And that's where you buy.
Well, it's sort of like what's the line from the line I like from Lord of the Rings? It would depend on the manner of his return. It depends. It's not just is the price low, but why did it get to that point, right? So Luna, at this point, there's plenty of people on Luna who thought to themselves, if I buy Luna at when Luna dropped down to Jesus, what a drop. 1 second. When Luna dropped from $99 down to, let's say, over here at $25, people thought, hey, that's a great buy, right? Well, the price still dropped from 25 down to later on down to $12. So you lose 50% of your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people then bought it over here at $12, thinking, well, it can't go any lower. Well, Peter, we're down to, like I said, one 10,000th of a penny, right? So if you bought it at $12, or even at over here at $5, thinking, man, I'm getting a bargain deal, you are down now 93%, something like that, for on the asset, right?
You only lose once you sell, Tom. And I feel like you're glossing over that very important fact. Hodl, hodl, hodl until the moon.
There's people here who bought it at 0.001 cent, thinking now they're really being smart. They were really careful, and now they're still down 50% from there. And there's people who are buying it right now. Peter, every time you see a green candle, it means some people are buying. Some people
That's
are
right.
buying. Some people are selling. That means someone is buying it right now, and someone could buy it right now, and they can still, if it just dropped to where it was a couple of days ago, they'd be down 20%. It could still go down it could still drop 99% from here. Right? So it's not about the nominal amount. It's not about the number amount for what you're buying. It's about the performance. What is the percentage change? Because if you put $10,000 into something that could drop 99%, it doesn't matter if you get it at $100, if you get it at a penny, it could still drop 99%.
Yeah, you told me about this percentage change. All right, so that is the weakness you're seeing in Solana. What, I keep saying it wrong. Solana.
Yeah.
That's
Solana and Cardano.
Cardano, Solana. All right, I'll get it.
So buy SafeMoon, Peter. SafeMoon's the only safe bet of all the
such
planetary
high hopes
ones.
For SafeMoon too. I
What
remember
was
you
it?
used to like
Luna is
SafeMoon.
moon. Luna is moon and Solana is sun. Both of them are failing. So get SafeMoon and Safe Sun, and you'll be good.
I'm looking for Doge Moon or Sol Loge.
Peter, I'm so scared to short Doge. I have a little bit of short on it, but I'm so nervous.
Don't you mess with Elon, all right?
That's
Do
right.
not short Elon.
Exactly.
You learned that lesson with Tesla, didn't you?
Well, I think to myself, if inflation really goes through the roof, what was it? Inflation in Turkey right now is at 73%, right? It just came out 73%. So if inflation really goes crazy and oil goes crazy and things go all topsy-turvy and people decide they're going to run to some other cryptocurrency, and let's say some marginal number of people, 2% of people decide they're going to buy Dogecoin and they don't care what price it's at, well, you could lose your house shorting Doge. And I'm not gonna bet against Papa Elon. I mean, that guy sending Russian rockets to the moon. So let me not bet on the guy who bet against the guy whose tweets can move the markets. No, thank you. That guy, he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind tanking his own stock, Peter.
All he has to do is tweet out a picture of shorts, and then that's it. Who likes shorts? All right, this has been a lot of fun. Is there anything more you want to say about Solano? Should people? This is not financial advice. Solana. I'm going to change my newborn daughter's name to Solana. That way, I'll never get it wrong. Of course, I will forget Solana's birthday, but that's a separate issue.
Well, someone was asking me, or someone was asking, what do they do if they have Solana bags, right? They're holding Solana.
Yeah, that's right.
What do they do? Do they sell? And
not financial advice.
Well, if I were them and I had purchased more than I was willing to lose, which is unfair, right? Because sometimes you could put money that you're not willing to lose, then it goes up 500%, and now are you willing to lose that? You go, well, I did put money I'm willing to lose. Well, I'm not willing to lose it now. So whatever it is, if you can't sleep at night and you would blow your brains out if the price dropped to zero, well then you got to sell some even at a loss, right? Now, it's you're choosing between two pains, right? The pain of selling at a loss and and it going up afterwards to higher than you bought it. I mean, I've been there. So painful. So painful. But then you have to compare that pain to the pain of not selling and then being a lunatic at $0. I was just reading the Medium blog post from Remy Teto, the guy from Real Vision, from GMI, who lost, 8 figures on Luna. The guy lost 8 figures, went from I think $15 million up to $0. And the reason he didn't want to sell, Peter, is that he didn't want to put undue pressure on the price. He didn't want to be one of the reasons why the price was going down by selling it. Can you imagine that?
With great power comes a lot of loss, apparently.
You gotta choose the pain. You gotta know what is the pain you can deal with. Now, if you're telling me, Tom, both those pains make me suicidal, well, I mean, it's not life advice, but maybe investing's not for you.
And what choice do we have? All right, we have Biden's inflation. Wait, I'm sorry, Putin's inflation. His price hike. Gas prices are going up. Food prices are going up. I haven't had a sip of baby formula in weeks. All right, I'm starving. What am I supposed to do? Okay, crypto is my only hope. All right, you said hope. It's not a
You gotta
strategy.
see. Hope is not a strategy. No, hope is gambling. But you want to treat it sort of like crypto invested in sort of like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, right? Amber Heard, she took her shot. She swung for the fences. She gave everything she got, and she goes, "If I can get this, if I can do this right, she's going to be super rich and super famous." But she got lunaed. She got totally lunaed, and she didn't think she could lose, but she did. She goes, "How am I supposed to lose against a white man? I'm beautiful, I'm rich, and I'm a woman. I should walk away with this." She did not. So that's what happens sometimes, and then you got to deal with life that way. So, do you want to be Amber Heard? Do you want to be an Amber Heard? Then hold your bags. If you don't, cut your losses. She was up 7 million, Peter. She was up 7 million. But did she cut her losses? No. She decided, I'm gonna let it all ride on red. That's what she wanted. Let it all ride. Sir, are you sure? Let it ride.
Solana is like, you weren't punched, all right? You weren't punched.
You weren't punched.
All right? You bought in. Well, you baby. Hodl, all right? Are you a baby? God, they infected everywhere. It's everywhere, Tom. We can't. It's all. I got Amber and Deb all over me. Okay, it's just it's sticky.
I can't wait for I Heard the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp story. I also accept the title Hearsay. The Amber Heard story.
Hearsay. That's right. I would accept the title What If Anything. That's my favorite.
I think I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says "Answer Yes." I just want that everywhere. Answer yes. Answer.
I didn't know that. Maybe TV and movies spoiling me too much. Here we're talking about Amber Heard. We got to get going. But all this, they ask a question. Whatever they make the statement, right? That's not a real question. That's not a real question. You're the monster, right? Is that a lawyer question? Right? You're just saying that for the jury. I mean, oh my goodness, this seems so. It seems so. You learn a lot about the justice system watching that trial. That's one reason I love watching it. All right, so there we are. Started out with Solano. Talked about Solana.
God.
Cardano.
Camille Vasquez. That's what you sound like.
Vasquez. And then we ended with Amber Heard. Look.
That's right.
If you're not putting Amber Heard and Johnny Depp into your videos, then what? Why are you interneting? Why are you even interneting?
Can you even call it content? Come on.
Gotta trigger that algorithm. Verdict. All right. I think that's it. Tom, just a lot of fun. You're going to be, maybe I'll tease this a little bit. You're going to be talking a little bit. You've got some predictions, let's call them, about the future. You're going to be sharing on TikTok?
Yeah, you go to TikTok on Sacred Prophet, and I'll put stuff over there. Look, you're going to get to see my kooky side. I didn't realize I had a kooky side. Turns out I do have a kooky side. And nervous about it. When you start telling people that your dreams have a very solid impact on your life and you make decisions based on them.
Look, you and Julius Caesar, right? Come on.
Well, you'd be surprised. Every single person I've talked to about it actually has not laughed me out of the room. I would have thought that it turns out if you mention, hey, by the way, I've made this big life decision based on dreams I've been having, people go, hey, me too. I've also had dreams that made me. I was like, oh my God, a lot of people are making decisions based on their dreams. So let's, and that's a nice way of saying it, the dreams. Let's
save it for the talks.
I'm sweating. I'm super excited. We'll see.
I'm looking forward to it. Anything that's going to get you off of your high horse here, Mr. Know-It-All. I think it's going to be great. Let's make fun of you a little bit. And when we come back here, we can make fun of your dreams. So I'm looking forward to it.
Peter, I don't think it's a coincidence that as soon as the dream started was the peak in the markets. November 2021.
Pretty sure it's a coincidence. Pretty sure it's a coincidence. Very definition.
I'm sorry. Who's making money shorting things? Is it me or is it you?
That's because your signal, right? Your signal.
Where did my signal come from? Find out
Maths.
on TikTok.
All right. Take care, everyone. Had a lot of fun here. If you want to follow Tom, check him out, Sacred Profit, over on Twitter. And if you don't want any financial advice at all, if you want to talk about crypto at all, if you don't even understand the charts Tom's talking about, you can check me out. I am Bad Guru over on Twitter, because we're talking about Amber Heard and all kinds of other stuff. All right. My name is Peter Hartman,
I'm Tom Hartman.
and you're watching Jumpstart
Jumpstart
Live. Bye, folks.